Hey, Joe McKnight was a popular running back who first came from USC. I hated to see him at USC because I went to Cal and he destroyed us along with the Trojans more times than I care to think about. There was that one time that we get them. There was that one time, but I digress. Joe McKnight was killed by a guy in the street, and just for an argument that we're still not privy to the full contents of, but this assailant kneeled down over me and said, "I told you to leave me alone." And then prior to that, witnesses say that McKnight said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," pleading for his life. He shot him anyway. This man was briefly detained and let go, no charges filed, in spite of what witnesses said. Then Walter Scott, shot dead, black, jury of 11, mostly white, said, oh, he basically was okay to shoot him. What's going on here is a dangerous precedent of trying to explain and justify why a black man is murdered. You and I both know that if the person that shot Joe McKnight were black, charges would have been filed against that person. I mean, look what happened even in the case of, it's just, I'm sorry, because it really upsets me that we have this animal culture where people insist on viewing someone dark as bad. That's what it boils down to. This is a perfect litmus test of intelligence. If you're an intelligent person, you're empathic. And you see how someone else can be treated and say that treatment is wrong. But there are others who will even try to chime in on comments, more often not by far, using fake names and make racist statements. Even if they think it's something you're doing just for fun, it's still wrong, and it still points to an animal culture. So why we are at this point, I think it's because, overarchingly, the International Division of Labor has torn this country apart. What do I mean? It is the 30-year march of offshoring of jobs, to a point where if I want to hire a telemarketer in Illinois, even if that person says I can do it for $1,000 a month or $500 a month, which is really, really cheap, there's someone else in India that can do it for cents on the dollar, and as effectively. And you would say, well, how do we... Okay, and so what that leads to is a lowering of wages here in the United States, and more people that, even if they're employed, the unemployment rate's at 4.6% right now, which is great, they're not making enough to make ends meet. And all around them they see cable bills going up, so they cut their cable costs. They see energy bills not going down. They see more and more instances of shorter duration jobs. So what are they supposed to do? And all that struggling to get money creates a stress, and it makes people act in ways that, if they had more leisure time and money to relax their souls, they wouldn't behave in. That is what's happening. So you would say, okay, Zinni, what's the solution? The solution is to subsidize more labor costs in this country to keep jobs, not just keep jobs here, okay, which is extremely important, but also make sure that people have a income comfort cushion for personal mental health as much as anything. The fact that we are being torn asunder by the International Division of Labor, which is basically one part being made in many different countries around the world, is because of the fact that we have all these plants. We can't maintain our standard of living with this world pressure. And So you have these mass shootings, and then on top of that, the internet isolates some people, particularly if they're young. They don't know how to socialize. So it's those two factors that are contributing to this, and we need to address them now because it's becoming too late. On that note, Donald Trump did a great job of saving the carrier jobs, but he's let the genie out of the bottle. He's got to establish a program that's basically socialist in order to save this country's lifestyle. That's the answer.